Discipline is overrated, so I'm going to show you something I like a lot better. I used to always feel like a failure when I couldn't force myself to go to the gym, when my alarm clock would go off, or if I'd go over my calories in the evening by eating ice cream. That inner fat guy in me would always want to come out, and I hated being in constant negotiation with him. He was lazy. So in this video, I want to share the anti-discipline method I've been using to help me stop feeling like I was running away from something or restricting myself all the time, and more like I was running downhill toward my goals. And it's all rooted in curiosity. Nowadays, I don't want to eat healthy and work out because I have to in order to look good. Same thing with working 6.5 days a week, building my business where I coach guys to lose 50 plus pounds of fat in 6 months without BS diets or burpees. It all just pours out of me because I'm oozing with a genuinely passionate pursuit of progress, and that has allowed me to go further than I ever thought possible. The first thing I want to show you will help you see getting in shape as something you actually enjoy for once. Most people think that you have to be hardcore, gritty, and tough in order to get in shape or accomplish difficult things. But I think the people who really succeed are just the ones who stick around long enough for it to matter. The person who forces themselves to go to the gym with pre-workout and death metal is nowhere near as likely to get in amazing shape as the guy who smiles on the way to the gym and tracks his body weight using my free weight loss tracker that's linked in the description box. This makes progress feel like it's happening on autopilot. Instead of being in a white knuckle friction fest, you have a system. Success becomes a default, not a daily battle. It's just flow. I've seen this work with guys who, whenever they felt like a failure, they fell off. Fitness, fat loss, self-improvement, to them became all about restriction, avoidance, and discomfort. So it's natural to want to seek relief from it. I'll admit that a lot of the most successful and fit people I know try really fucking hard at it, but it's because they don't want to spend their time doing literally anything else. And what I see a lot of guys going wrong with is I think that they see fitness about living like a monk. They think they have to drink blended spinach breast and spinach breast chicken and spinach breast. I said it twice, chicken breast and spinach. They think it means getting up at 4 a.m. having, the ice plunge. Let's play this out. Let's decide you lock in David Goggins style.
Back, motherfucker!
You'll probably make some progress, and there'll be days where you're tired, you're sore, you're hungry, but you push through it because discipline, right? But how long do you really plan to do that? I mean, I know it's hyper masculine and sexy to imagine yourself gritting your teeth and sticking with your routine, even though it sucks. But let's be real here. Are you making a deal with yourself to keep doing something for the rest of your life that you hate? I mean, that's why people do 75 hard and they're just doomed to fail. They're starting out on a plan they know won't last, just counting down the days till it's over. It's a no-brainer to write fitness off as something not even worth trying when you think that this is what it takes. And if you don't see yourself as a disciplined person, it'll never work. So if you can't force yourself to get into a routine that helps you hit your goals, you need something that pulls you toward it magnetically. You need a system for generating action toward a desirable goal. And that starts by coming at this with curiosity. I mean, what if this actually worked out for you? What if you lost the fat you want to lose? What could your body look like? Even after 6 months of going all in, what would that moment look like? When you stepped out of the shower, you looked in the mirror, how would it feel to have just 20% more energy each day, to be 10% happier, more self-confident, to have 10% more sex drive? How would it feel to swim shirtless in a lake this summer and not worry about what other people thought about your body? What if you actually just lived 3 years longer and you were able to pick up your grandson in the backyard or tend to your tomato garden at 85 years old? And how amazing would it feel if you had just 10% less aches and pains, if you didn't have to take blood pressure medication or reverse your diabetes? I mean, aren't you curious to see how far you could go with this stuff, to see just how good the good life actually could be? Lean into that curiosity like a farmer who goes out each morning and looks at the weather. He picks up a handful of dirt. You become invested in the process when you're curious. Most personal trainers will tell you, "Oh, just do it anyways, even if you're tired." I say, show me your work. Document your process and your progress. That's step one of what I call the flow. Find what excites you. Make it selfish. Even if you could just really have anything you wanted, what would that be? Get curious here. How would it feel to have visible abs? What would it look like if I actually enjoyed my program? It's fine if you just have a general direction with where you want to go, but even better if you have a really big goal that scares you a little bit. Something that makes you wonder if this is even possible for you because it would be so fucking awesome. That's your North Star. For me, it was squatting 500 pounds and then putting on as much muscle as I could in a year, competing in jiu-jitsu, and now again, back to the muscle growth thing. You've been excited about goals before and you fall off the wagon a couple weeks in, sadly. So you also need a way to make sure you stay excited about it without having to force yourself to do something completely unsustainable. And that's where the L of the flow method comes in. It's all about logging your data. This is what gives your curiosity real depth and meaning. When I first hired a coach, we started tracking all my workouts, my weight data, and what I was eating. It was the exact same excitement I had when I first got into a new hobby, and I just wanted to learn everything I could about it, like coffee or cars. Start measuring what matters most to you. Step on the scale each day, no food, no water, right after using the bathroom, nude. If weight loss is important to you, track that in a Google sheet or even just on a notepad on top of the toilet. Take pictures of your body, front, side, and back. It's not a pass or fail judgment here. You're just being a scientist, right? Collecting data. Now, when you step on the scale and it shows you that you're up a few pounds, it's not, oh my God, I'm such a fucking fatty, I need to do better with this. It's, That's interesting. I wonder why that could be. Luckily, you've been keeping a log of the foods you've been eating. So you look back at that and your app shows you that pickles are actually pretty high in sodium. So even though your calories have been low, your body is retaining some more water today and your weight is up. Can you see how that's the exact same situation, but there's a different response? Now, if you multiply that over the course of a month or a year, the two people at the end of those time periods will be in a dramatically different headspace. That's the beginning of the observe and adjust phase. This is where you take a look at what you're currently doing and how it's working once a week or once a month. You're just gonna sit down 10, 15 minutes, be your own coach. Look at the pictures, the weight data, the workout logs, whatever it is you collected in the logging phase. You're opening a little feedback loop here, right? If you're on the right track, making progress, awesome. If you're not heading in the right direction, you're gonna make an adjustment to your behaviors. When it comes to self-coaching, the most important thing is to ensure that you're consistently working the plan you laid out for yourself before you make any adjustments to it. Otherwise, you just don't know that what you're doing is working or not. This can go outside of the hard data too, like calories and weigh-in data. If you just notice that you've been consistently lacking on your plan, maybe it's time to adjust what you're working towards or how you're getting there. If your excitement towards the plan is low, maybe you have to make a call as to whether or not that's human nature or you just really aren't aligned with your goals anymore. You'll make the adjustments you need, and then you'll proceed to the final step of the flow system that ties everything together. And this is where most folks will say, oh, Matteo, I feel like I need discipline to work the plan. But is that really true? You can attack your plan with the same curiosity as before. What would it look like if I went into the gym and smashed my sessions this month with intensity and focus at a new level that I've never brought before? If I really did track and measure all the food I ate for the next 7 days, what would happen? Even though you know it'll be tough, since you know what that dream come true, holy shit moment looks like from finding what excites you, this should come pretty naturally to you. You can revisit this every once in a while to make sure that your North Star still fires you up. I'm not gonna blow smoke up your ass here and tell you that you're not gonna have to try hard to get in awesome shape and build a business or whatever the fuck you're working towards, but it can feel exciting. And doing it in a way that feels like something you want to do guarantees that you'll make better progress with it long term. Just like when I got down to about 10% body fat this year, it was tough, but it was an exciting experiment for me that got me fired up to work on my plan each day. And if you want fat loss to happen faster and easier than ever before, then watch this video next, where I cover the 23 lessons I learned along the way so you can avoid all the time-consuming mistakes I've made over the last 8 years.